All right, I have an hour until my next Zoom call, so let's knock this video out. Let's do LinkedIn Part 2. All right, so my last video that I posted got a decent amount of love and engagement about LinkedIn when I asked you guys, hey, do you like this content? Do you want more of this content? So here we are, LinkedIn Part 2. And this one is basically going to be about optimizing your profile. And I know optimizing is like a big word, but it's not. It's just like some spring cleaning, if you will, to make sure that your profile is looking good. Then we're gonna, optimize it for SEO, which is a long, scary word, but it's really easy. And then I'm gonna basically encourage you guys to start connecting with literally everybody on LinkedIn. And then I'm going to remind you to post content. So let's go back to point number 1, and that would be get your profile looking good, okay? Because when you are connecting with people, which is what I'll be telling you to do shortly, they're inevitably going to go to your page. And when they do that, they will have a first impression of you. How together, business wise, are you? Do you look like you know what you're doing? And that's what your profile has to convey in like zero point 0.2 seconds. So, how do we do that? What are some things that we need to make sure we're good at? Number 1, profile picture. Make sure it's not you in the car with your sunglasses and your seatbelt on. Let's try and get a little bit professional. I should probably be the same photo as the photo used on any of your other socials. So Facebook, really Facebook is the only one. That way it shows consistency throughout. So if they find you on other sites, they're like, oh, I know exactly who this person is. Same thing with the cover photo / banner photo. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. But again, that should look similar to, if not the same, as your Facebook one. So now that your page looks all pretty, as you can see, here is my very current and up-to-date LinkedIn profile that I care so much about. That's sarcasm, by the way. I haven't done anything on LinkedIn because I haven't needed to in literally like 5 years. So take my profile with a grain of salt, please. So as you see, lovely photo of me with just scrumptious long hair. I have an artistic background to show that I'm creative. However, that's if I was actually trying to get a job, probably not the best background. Besides the point. So let's look at this title right here. This is what's called, it's who you are, it's what you are. You need to make it very clear that you are a real estate agent, a realtor, whatever, for X brokerage, albeit real estate one, blah, blah, blah. The more it says that you are a real estate agent, that's going to be good because not only will it help them figure out who the heck you are, but that's going to come in handy for SEO, which I'll talk about next. So let's say that you wanted to change or alter your headline or title. Here's what you're going to want to do. Here's what's going to happen. Let's say that I wanted to change video production specialist, because technically I should, because I'm technically not. I am, but I'm not, more of an educator. You click that little pencil button in the top right, and it's going to basically break down everything and give you the option to change things up. So you can change your name. You can change your current position, the headline. So the headline does not necessarily mean your current position. It's kind of like what you would introduce yourself as to somebody that you didn't know. Doesn't necessarily have to be your exact headline and title. So this is where you're just going to be doing your basic changes. Okay, so after the title, then we're going to be going into the About section, which is going to be here. As you can see, I don't even know what this says, but if you want to change it, little pencil button up here, click it, it'll bring you up. Bada boom, bada bing. Then you should probably fill out your experience to let people know, like either how long you've been at your current brokerage, or how long you've been in the real estate game in general. And then after that, if you have any like licenses and certifications, that's never a bad idea to add those in. This is where you'll do that. If you want to add them, go here. If you already have some, but maybe they're not valid anymore, they've expired, you can edit them right here with that pencil. Okay, that was a mouthful, I'm aware. Now let's talk about quickly optimizing your profile for SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, helping people find you on Google, basically. So I sort of mentioned this previously, but in the headline, this little boy right here, the phrase real estate should probably be in that, because that's just going to help people find you. That's all I need to say about that. So now that you've done those two things, another thing that you can do that will greatly increase your SEO presence on Google as well as just the internet is basically going and finding keywords that people are searching for relative to your job, which is a real estate agent, and then sprinkling them in your About Bio section. So the way that we're going to do this, you're going to Google the phrase Google Keyword Planner. So when you do that, this should be the first one to pop up. As you can see, I clicked it. And that's going to take you to Google Ads. Don't freak out. You're not running an ad. You're just using the platform without actually running an ad. Just bear with me. Go to Keyword Planner. It's going to, load. And then this page is going to show up and you're like, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. And that's fair. I'm not expecting you to. You're going to go up here top left and say discover new keywords. Click on the little arrow. And then this is where you can kind of type in which keywords you're looking for. So for example, I'm just going to type in real estate and get results, and it'll pop up all of the average monthly searches that people are searching for with the phrase real estate on Google. So what you do is you basically comb through them and you see which ones could I sprinkle into my website, or in this case your bio. As you can see here, homes for sale on average monthly searches is 100,000 to 1 million. Real estate agent, 100,000 to 1 million. You get the idea. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be real estate. You can even do like Michigan realtor, real tour. And obviously now you can see that the average monthly searches are lower because we're specifying the fact that it's in Michigan, but that's just something to keep in mind. Some of you will absolutely love this and some of you will absolutely not want to do this at all. Be my guest, take my advice, don't take my advice. That is completely up to you. This is like an extra little bonus step for those of you that really, want to get that website presence up and running. Okay, now that your profile looks good and everything is in place and you've maybe optimized it for SEO, now you can start actively connecting with people because your first impression should be good. So, who are we connecting with? Well, you should be connecting with your current clients, your past clients, your colleagues, old work people, relatives, friends, family, literally anybody that you can think of is who you should be connecting with because there are no rules. Once connected, then you can go and view their connections and start connecting with them. Basically, once you get connected with your initial round, you can go to a specific person that you've connected with, and then you can start connecting with all of their connections. It's just a web. It's just a network full of web and connections. How do we do this? Okay, so let's go into my network and let's randomly pick somebody to find somebody who is a real estate agent with our company. All right, let's choose Amy Parsons. Amy Parsons, if you're watching this, shout out. This wasn't planned. We're going to go through your connections. Let's hope you have some because I didn't back check this at all. Beautiful. 500 plus connections. She's killing it. Okay, let's choose those connections. Now, if you wanted to, you could just go and click, 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 and just start connecting with all of her connections. Or if you want to get a little bit more precise, what you could do is there are these things called filters that will basically obviously filter out things. And one of the things I would recommend doing is checking the location, because obviously, you know, connections are great and all, but if the person lives in New York and you do your business here in Michigan, yeah, you know, whatever. If you want to, you know, make sure that your connections could maybe turn into a lead, then, you know, something to keep in mind. Do this, don't do this, I don't really care. So now that I clicked that the filler for Michigan, now it just switched, and now I'm only seeing people in Michigan. So there are more filters that you can go through, and some of the, like, two of the ones that I really thought were helpful would be the language profile. So, like, let's say that you are bilingual and you speak English and another language, albeit Spanish, German, whatever. You can choose Spanish if you want to really target that in. And then let's also say that, you know, you're a graduate of a university, because alumni love other alumni, and you could do that as well. So I'm just going to take a stab in the dark here to see if anyone is from Michigan who speaks Spanish and went to Michigan State University. No, I got a little bit too exact, and that's okay. That just means I can take this off, and now this is the only connection that I believe Amy's the profile I'm currently on that says they speak Spanish. So that is something to keep in mind. This isn't exactly where I thought I was going to go with this video, but once I clicked on Amy's profile, I'm like, oh, she's doing it all right. She's doing it good. Let's just take, you know, obviously my profile was not ideal because I'm not a real estate agent, and that's okay. However, Amy is, so let's just see. Nice profile picture. It's great. It looks professional. I would dare to bet that it's the same on all of her other socials. If I'm wrong, yeah, what are you going to do? But this cover photo, also fantastic. It's nice and homey. It says that she's a real estate agent without saying that she's a real estate agent. Has her name on there. It says that she's a realtor at Maxbrook. It says that she's in the Detroit metropolitan area. She has an about section that, you know, looks long enough yet concise enough to really tell you without boring you. She has all of her experience in there, education, certification. So this, I'm not saying this is an ideal one, but this is a good one. Not saying it's an ideal one, if you're catching my drift there. I mean, this is basically it. This is kind of what we're shooting for here. So, Amy, thumbs up. Now that you've done all that, now that you've connected with people and your page looks great, now, if you remember from the one of the tips in the last video, I told you guys to post content on LinkedIn, because nobody posts content on LinkedIn. So, what does that mean? Well, because there's a lot of people on LinkedIn, but nobody's posting content on LinkedIn. Whenever you post content, your content should hopefully stand out, because it has way less garbage to wade through as opposed to a Facebook where you're dealing with everything. So what are we posting on LinkedIn? Well, you're basically posting pretty much the business stuff that you're posting on Facebook. Remember that LinkedIn is not where people go to kill time. If people are on LinkedIn, they're on there for a purpose. So you should probably be trying to give them value, right? If you come across any articles, or this is a great place to post your listings. If you make any videos that are specific to, like, the real estate market or whatever, great place to put them. With that being said, I know that this video was probably a little bit long, but that's okay. I thought there was a lot of valuable information. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other content ideas for videos for me to make, or if you're like, hey, keep doing more LinkedIn stuff, I'm sure I can find more stuff to tell you guys about. Let me know that as well. But until then, see you next time.